Well, hello. How y'all doing out there? My name's Jeremy.
I'm Jeff.
And together we are, what more could you want? We're just a couple normal guys. Got some military in us, got some fighting in us, we got some family in us, and we got some good in us. And
exactly.
If you haven't been here with us, well, we're happy to have you. And, well, I guess we're just here to talk about the love and the good that we want to be a part of. And but I guess a little bit of everything else.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, we don't come on here scripted. We don't come on here with a bunch of revenue from anybody else. We're just, like I said, a couple guys.
I want to share some good to the world, put some light out there, man.
That's right, man. Especially right now, dude. Like, I, as much as anybody, can lose my shit on somebody because I think that what they're doing is wrong.
You never.
I know. And I should probably try to cut that back a little bit, but I have such a problem with injustice. I've fought everybody else's fights my whole life. So anyway, I don't want to get too far into that because we talked about that a little bit last week.
Let's not go down the wormhole again.
We're definitely not. And having said that, last week we promised our listeners that we would show up with some solutions and some things that could help them right now. And I think, man, I just want to get right at it.
Let's do it.
Cool, man. I first and foremost, before we forget about anything else, it's been a tumultuous week at best. There's been a lot of stressors in our lives.
Yes, absolutely.
At best. The divorce rates are climbing. The employment rates, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure they're still pretty low, if not stagnant. And it causes a lot of us a lot of grief. Well, the reason that we're here to talk about these solutions is because you don't learn about this in school.
No.
At least not K or kindergarten through 12.
No, this is maybe college stuff that you're going to get into potentially, right. And that's only if you get into certain majors or actual subjects of this. It's
right.
Not going to be, no one in life teaches you how to maintain yourself.
I couldn't have said it better.
They teach you, cool, get you educated, get a job, do that job.
Yeah.
But they don't teach you how to maintain yourself for what comes in life.
Right. And I think this is one thing that can make a lot of parents upset, myself included. We send our kids to these school systems that were created by people way back when to help get people trained for the workforces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're seeing now more than ever that workforce it's different.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I was going to say it was diminishing, but it's not diminishing. It's just changing.
Yeah, it's different. The world shifted, and it's you still got every walk of workforce out there, but it is just a snake. It's a curve. Yeah,
and you can hop in and hop out at any point.
Yeah.
And, I'm here to tell you, if you decide to hop out of that and do your own thing, it's all good. You should try that. I mean, everybody should try that. You don't have to jump off of a cliff or anything. Just try something on the side, and if you like it, if it catches on, then maybe it becomes a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, having said all that, I'm going to have Jeff here go ahead and start off because he's got one hell of a list, and it's very organized versus mine. It looks like my cat threw up in my notebook. So one by one, let's go through this stuff, and we can hop online. We can play some audio here for folks so you can just get an idea of what we're talking about. If you can't resonate with it, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not going to resonate with everything. Some people need some more time before their mind opens up enough to where they think that something like meditation or even reading is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But something that I'm going to talk about later is that if you have a hard time reading, like most of us do, our brains are going 100 directions, right?
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about the phone.
I think we're desensitized by other things. But yes, you go on a mile a minute. It's how do you calm that to focus on what you're doing?
Right. Like, I want to tell you about a book to read, but I can't tell you about the book to read until you know that you're centered enough to sit down and read it.
Yes.
And what happens if you read 2 pages in, and all of a sudden your mind's going, It's just like
they get
meditating.
lost.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just lost. And most of us don't have the discipline to pull that back in.
And that's very true. It's very true to like get lost in the river and hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff we want to talk about today, guys. Jeff made a good point last week. He said, we're always talking about a lot of the things that are bad, things that we don't like. Well, we're no better than anybody else if we just sit here and bitch about it.
So last week just made the suggestion, hey, let's share things that you've been doing.
Yep. Things
that I kind of do. I have like a little list here and stuff like that. I do more, but it's a simple thing to start. You can't put a billion things on your list and expect it to be accomplished. So start small.
Yeah.
And then it will grow. And so that's the simplest thing and that's what we came to last week. Like, dude, we got to share what do we do for ourselves because it has helped us. We're still evolving and growing in ourselves. But if this stuff has helped us, well, damn, it's probably going to help somebody else as well too.
Totally. And I think that we come at this, I know you do, I'm trying my best to. We're not coming at this as an approach of like, this is what you have to do.
Yeah. No.
No, this is like Jeff and I have two totally different ways of meditating. We have two totally different ways.
Just tips, little tips and tricks and try it. And like, that's exactly what it is. It's just like fitness, some people love to run. That's their thing. Cool. Other people, CrossFit. Other people lift weights, bodybuilding, powerlifting. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You find that little world that fits you, do it. But the first thing is if you don't know where to start, we're kind of giving you a starting point, and then you can explore other avenues, and hopefully you find something that has worked for you that will has done for us. And that's
right.
It.
That's what's up. Without further ado, a list.
All right. So simple things. This is just a little 10-point list, and I'll kind of elaborate on it and stuff.
Yeah, let's stop after each one. And
so I'll go on it. So the first thing I have on there is count your blessings when you awake. Simple and easy as it sounds, but don't think. First thing goes off, alarm, you hit snooze, blah, 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 blah. Most people are like, oh, I got to get up, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, take a moment. Sit there like maybe you just lay there, you turn off the alarm, just lay there awake, or sit at the edge of your bed. Just take a moment to reflect upon the day.
Yep.
Again, you woke up probably in a bed. You woke up with a roof over your head, running water, food. You're doing well.
Dude, we've said that before. And you can't beat it enough, really.
No. And so that's simple and easy is count your blessings when you wake. Something small.
Yeah.
The next one goes right into it. My second one is don't immediately, I don't have my phone out.
That's okay.
Yeah, don't jump right onto the phone.
Yeah.
I try to not have about 2 hours of no phone when I get up. Yeah. But I also wake up very early that I'm off of it before my workday starts. Now, I might play music or something. Or I usually listen to podcasts anyway when I work out. So I'll play a podcast, and it's going, and that's it.
Right.
I have do not disturb on for like the first 2 hours of my morning. I will not check emails. Yeah. I don't check text. It's a good habit to get into to start your day off on a different positive foot.
Yeah.
Not to go straight to social media to read what bullshit's going on, what happened last night.
Yep.
Whatever text or things that you were talking with somebody, just it can sit there, Yeah. If it was an emergency, you'd have a billion voicemails and missed calls from somebody.
Yeah.
So that's what I like to do. And I got that from, another individual. Like he does a lot of meditation stuff online too. And it's a big thing. He talked about like, don't jump to the phone. We're so glued to these devices anyway. Take a moment for it. So that goes hand in hand with one, wake up blessed. Two, you can use the phone to play music, whatever, but don't be hopping on it to start using it for what it's intended.
Right. Right.
And start small. 2 hours, I could go all day. I have no problem if I really had to. I could chuck the sucker and I'd be good with it if I really needed to.
Right.
But obviously it's a reality. It's a lot of our businesses is run through that. So I get it.
And all too often, let me jump in on that if you don't mind. All too often, the opposite is true. Like you find people that could be on it all day.
Yes.
Like when I hear people and they're like, they got these big phones, like the big battery phones, and they're recharging at like lunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's all you did today.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you did anything else unless there's a problem with it.
Yeah.
I get my daughter, she's looking for the charger at 1, 2, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what have you been doing, man?
Yeah, if you spend all your time on it, if you're using it as a phone, it'll drain it, but more than likely you're searching the webs and playing on social media, watching stuff.
And let me give you a quick example of that, too, because it just happened to me yesterday and today. So I don't get on Facebook a whole lot. Mm-hmm. It pisses me off.
Well, that's what,
Something happens there with people where they get ugly. And I like to have heated but educated conversations about things.
A debate.
Totally, man. I love it. And hey, we'll shake hands and have a drink afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But these people.
Well, it's not the old school debate anymore.
Right. So yesterday I get on our social media platforms and I start giving my opinion. Something I will always do. Right. So if you don't know, our company's Barrel Brands. It's my company. It's not the podcast, but it does pay for this. So I get on there and I start saying some stuff, very polarizing things. Absolutely. In a positive light, not in a negative light. And I'm not saying that I didn't talk about negative stuff, right? Yes. So I have all that going on. I have everybody from friends and family to people that are like, yeah, hoorah. And every once in a while, somebody sneaks in. And, yesterday people sneak in and it's like a white nationalist, a white power guy, like all this really crazy stuff. And they're all trying to rationalize it to me. And a long time ago, I would have gone into that, down those rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But now, I just delete them and move on.
You've evolved.
But even better, when I got up this morning, every day I meditate.
Mm-hmm.
I read my horoscope.
Yeah.
Have a drink of tea or some coffee or something. And I'll get up early so I can do those things, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Used to be, yeah, of course. Phone went off. It's playing a good song. I wake up. I check out. I got all these notifications. Helps wake me up. But it gets me into this funk. It starts to dictate my mood for the day. I didn't do it today.
Yes.
I didn't get on there until like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I was busy.
Yeah.
So it was real easy. It was real easy to not get on there. But that's not always the case.
Yes.
And you have to have something else you're doing with your time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's the thing. Everybody says, well, it's not bad to drink soda. But when you're drinking soda, you're not drinking water.
Yes.
Right? So it's the same thing here.
Something else is being negated at that point.
Yeah,
yes.
dude. Yeah, totally. Right on. Yeah. And I think that when you set that phone down, you pick up a book and maybe you meditate. Maybe you've got reading down.
Yeah.
That does so much for you in the morning.
Absolutely.
Dude, my wife tells me, she's like, you go, get down there and do your thing now. Because if you don't, when you do get out of bed or whatever, it ain't going to be pretty.
No, and that's exactly like with this list and what I do daily is, wake up, bless, keep the phone down. I'll kind of go,
whatever, man. However you want to do
so
it.
like, another aspect of it is do some physical activity daily.
Yeah.
I'm going to kind of go out of order. It doesn't really matter.
They don't know.
But physical activity. So whether you lift, maybe just go walk, something simple, hike. It doesn't got to be crazy intense workout. Just do something physical. It's already proven the endorphins, everything it does mentally, physically for you. Just do something. Even go for a walk. Yeah. Do that. Next, do something to enrich your mind. If you constantly, like going with the physical aspect, if you constantly just physically work yourself and you don't work here, guess what? Anything physicality will not happen because it all starts up here anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
You like, oh man, that's heavy. Right. I'm done.
And would you say for the listeners that feeling of I don't want to get up and do this is immediately flip-flopped as soon as you walk away from whatever you did? So like if you got to get up in the morning and you don't want to, man, it's 6 a.m., it's 5 a.m., I don't want to get up. I promise you, just like you said, Jeff, you get up, you go do that work, you're going to feel a lot better afterwards.
Yeah, I felt that way this morning.
Up here.
Up. Yeah, I got up, I worked out. Man, I was beat. It was hot as hell in the garage. I keep everything close so I don't wake the neighborhood because I'm lifting before most people are up. No, I laid on the floor, had my fan going on me. Cooled down, went in, took my cold shower, then I sat and I started reading. And that falls into another thing is read. Do something that you enjoy. If you enjoy reading like books on philosophy, mindset, Zen, Stoicism, or you want to read science, you want to read history, do something that, or even if it's fiction, it doesn't matter. A lot of people say you shouldn't, but if that is something you enjoy and that brings you a little bit more peace, then read it.
Yeah.
I would more encourage read something that enriching your mindset, which
something that challenges you.
Yeah, that goes with another point. Do something that enriches your mind every day, and that's why I like reading a lot of those philosophy, Stoic, Zen, Taoism books because it really makes you think. And some of them are very so well translated, or because all they're pretty much have been. They're translated. You're like, oh, okay, hold on. I got to sit and read some of these things 3-4 times because it's like, take it for what that says. Okay, cool. Yeah. Take what that says, and like. Turn it into how do I see that in my life?
Right.
Because some of these guys, these books that I'm reading, these individuals were from before Christ's time.
Yeah.
So if you're going back in history, BC and all this, we're getting really crazy in the timeline of time of man. This is before the Bible was even a thought process and these things. So it's very deep thinking to think of what the Bible contains to what these type of teachings contain.
Totally. Yeah, the Bible is like this tiny little piece of all of it. And it's not.
It doesn't even venture into.
It doesn't.
There are some Stoic aspects you could see, but not really. And there's nothing like Zen, no Buddhist, no Taoism.
That's because it's religious.
It's in that realm, but then you'd be merged into it.
Yeah. Well, let's keep spirituality out of religion.
Yeah. So
right.
Yeah. And so that kind of thing. So that's one big aspect of it, and then exactly what you said too. On top of enriching yourself, along with reading something physical, meditate. Something that can help clear your mind.
Right. So let me ask you. So before we move on to meditation that you're privy to, do you have any books off the top of your mind or that you've got on your list that you might recommend to these guys? Something that might just help you understand maybe how to center better, how to bring things back in, right?
One book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Saeed Helmstetter.
Nice.
Is a phenomenal book. I got it told to read the book from my weightlifting coach, Justin Thacker. That was something he read almost routinely and stuff like that. And his brother said, unfortunately, Justin passed, last year, but at
rest in peace, brother.
His memorial, man, Chris talked about that in that book, and I remember Justin always saying it, and he would always leave us quotes from those things. But that book really starts to break down how you internalize how you talk to yourself, the things that you've been taught in your life, what you say and what you do.
Right.
That by far is one of my favorite books, and I would say that'd be a simplistic place to start.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I was going for.
Before anything else into that. Yeah, if you guys want more book listings and stuff, reach out to us. I got a stack of them, but I will build you up to get to the point, because some of these, you literally would read a page and you will be sitting here going,
right,
what? You will be lost, as I have been. So I've had to backtrack on some of my readings because it's like, cool, I'm a senior. I'm reading, PhD level stuff. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, I need to back my ass up a little bit. So,
right. And be okay with, like, when you read it, if you don't know a word or if you don't understand it, that's fine.
Stop, look it up.
Yeah, stop, look it up.
I may use my phone for that during that time.
Absolutely.
But a lot of these books I will, because you're getting a lot of, Chinese,
right,
Indian language, a little bit of Japanese. You're getting words that it's like, how am I pronouncing
Egyptian,
this?
Yes.
You're getting all different languages. So you're going to have to translate a little bit. So that's normal.
Yeah, totally.
And stuff like that. So,
good
meditation and stuff like that.
But hold on, the meditation though, do you combine like your Wim Hof breathing techniques? And guys, if you don't know who Wim Hof is, you got to look him up.
Dude's insane.
He's insane. He's got a lot of people that are saying he's crazy. But you know what? When somebody comes at us with something new, all those ignorant bastards, the first things they want to do, right? And I mean us humans, you want to shoot it down. You want to say he's not right.
He's insane. He is the Iceman.
He is.
And he probably got something.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I do have some stuff here, but not until.
Wim is a gentleman that, unfortunately, after his wife took her own life, he began to come to life through tragedy, which has sometimes happened. He has 4 kids. He found peace.
Can we say what that really was?
Yeah.
Because when his wife died, he had a mental breakdown.
He did.
And I don't remember if he was hospitalized, but I know he had what would be referred to today, including myself, because this is what they told me, that's bipolar and mania. That's bipolar, depression and mania combined. And when you come out of that, or like when you go into that, your descension into that space, and the ego is falling away, and all these things are happening, that is what we mean by an awakening, right? And so please, when you listen to us talk, if we say those things, be open-minded, because we've experienced this stuff. We're not just talking about shit we've read, just like Wim, just like a lot of other people, we fall down and there's all too often not somebody there to help us up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what this is.
And
so
absolutely.
Check it out. And if you got questions about it, comment, let us know.
Wim Hof.
Yeah.
WIMHOFF. Dude's insane. He's got his own material out there, but he ventured out into nature, and I'll paraphrase this quote. He found nature, but it was nature who healed him. And he does a lot of cold training. He'll sit in ice water. He holds numerous world records for swimming down in the Arctic under ice, being in water.
Dude,
ice.
he swims across against like cold rivers against the stream.
He gets into that. Science has studied him, done tests on him with the cold, and that yet he can keep his body warm and not go into hypothermic. He's a test anomaly. Scientists love him.
He's brand new. Yeah. He's doing things that our bodies can do.
And he's goofy, but he's also from the Netherlands, so he has an accent, but he is very free. He has a good mind. And he has like breathing techniques in his app, which are a little bit more intense on the breathing aspect. He even will say, like, if you're feeling lightheaded, breathe normal. If not, you might be seeing colors, feeling the warmth. That is your body's response to what you're trying to induce.
Totally.
And then he has long breathing techniques and meditation, but I'll also do ice baths, and then don't do his breathing in ice or water. He already says it, but I'll say it too.
Oh yeah.
But I'll do then his regular meditations and cold training. I'll sit in ice baths and just
try
relax,
to zone in on that. Yeah.
Zone in and out and relax my breath, and then do those types of things. And I'll even slide completely under the water and just hold my breath because you get so relaxed. Now, those are a little bit more extremes, but the regular meditation, just sit in a comfortable position on your couch, on the floor, lay down flat in your back, and just find somewhere comfortable. Because first, if you're not, you're going to be you're going to fidget all day long.
Yep.
Do something like that. Wim's a little bit more on the higher scale of meditation, and a lot of my meditation things come from my early years of martial arts. That we would do this when we get done. We would sit in seiza, a martial arts position. You'd sit and just relax and breathe, and then my coach would hit like the bell, which he got from over in Asia, but like a lot of the singing Buddhist bowls.
Yes,
kind of a similar thing, and just listen to the sound. And we do that, and we'd sit there for minutes on end and just close your eyes and just be in and just hear it. I'll have to bring mine in sometime. We can.
Yeah, please do. I've been looking for one, but I don't want to buy one from some stupid ass store. I got this notion I should probably get something legit.
Yeah, exactly. So like, you do something like, do that, and it's just very calming, and it's that right hertz like we talked about last time.
That frequency.
Like white noise. Yeah. And so those would be the simplest things I would do. And just start small. Don't set a timer. Headspace is a good app. Calm.
Can I say another one? Because this is the one I use.
Yeah.
It's the Waking Up with Sam Harris.
Okay, yeah. He's phenomenal.
It's different than any other app, and I'll explain it in a little bit, but there's plenty of them, and it doesn't matter who you go with.
Pick one that works for you and roll with it.
And you don't have to pay for a big subscription.
No.
Just practice. And when you're doing it and you screw up, it's okay.
Yeah.
Come back and do it again.
Yeah. And I just like Wim's because there's a lot of mentality to sit there and think that you're going to go submerge your butt in some freezing water.
Yeah, dude.
I hope to one day go over to Poland, Netherlands to do his seminars and go hike in the mountains and do all the stuff, the actual cold training he does, because here in the Midwest, we get some cold winters, but not like they do. Right. They're a little bit farther north.
Hey, let me know when you plan that trip.
Yeah, I want to do one of those things because it physically tests you that your mind is fully the limitation of life. And so that's why I like meditation, because if you can start to calm the mind, like you were saying, you can focus on reading. Mm-hmm. Man, that workout's a little hard. That workout became a little easier.
Yeah.
Oh, that bump on the road of life sucked before. No, that bump on the road is now, that was a little tiny hole.
Yeah.
Life gets a little bit easier here. And that's why that, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Saeed Helmstetter, Amazon. It probably won't even be that expensive.
Right.
Hell, we could link a.
We can definitely do that, yeah.
It's phenomenal of just what it does. It's a simple read, but it will open your eyes to be like, wow, and you'll catch yourself.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I know, yeah.
We could read it in a whole nother time, but it's a
absolutely
good one,
yeah.
So, continuing on with all that, like everything just flows together unless you want to play some of that stuff from
I'd love to play something from Wim. Is that cool?
Do it.
And we may get in trouble for this. Hell, I don't know. But I'm going to play the audio, and then I'll put a link up on it, and I'll let you guys know where to find it, all that stuff.
Don't be mad, Wim. We just love you.
Don't be mad. We love you, brother. Yeah. So here's just a little bit. And what this is, okay, this is on YouTube, and it's not on Wim's page. The thing about Wim is, his page is not full of bullshit. When you go to his page, it's this workout, it's that meditation, it's this seminar. There's no fluff, right? That stuff's all for social media stuff. So this one is called Wim Hof, the Iceman. Breathe, immer effer, how to master your human potential, part 1 of 2. So I'm going to play a little bit.
I think that's actually the title of his book coming out in October.
Oh, is it really?
Something like that.
Well, maybe that's why he's on here. It was an interview with the London Reel. And
he's been interviewed by Rogan.
we'll
all
play
these people have had him. So, yeah.
We'll see. So
we are actually born to be great, to feel great. If you learn to control the breath, the life force itself.
some of the things he's talking about seem so basic.
Oh, yeah.
We are capable of becoming happy without the need of anything else. Unconditionally happy.
He's not wrong.
But we are civilized to death. We got so much technology, and how poor we are in quality of our own lives.
Love that.
It's amazing.
Thus the bacteria comes in, the depression comes in, because our primitive brain, able to fend off danger, is not connected. To reconnect, get the biotechnology going.
So right, man.
I
We've
am
conditioned
showing
ourselves
this
against all of this.
through
Oh, yeah.
science, through this simple breathing technique. 30 breaths, fully in and letting go.
Yeah, man.
We are able
And that's
to
the app, him just
create
repeating that.
Right. Yeah, that's sort of how Sam Harris's app is too.
Yeah.
Only like why I said Sam's was different was because, and that's the one that's called Waking Up, guys. Sam, excuse me, he'll interject a lot of instruction during it.
Yeah.
So it's not just, okay, good luck. You know,
Yeah.
it's, hey, I'm going to talk you through this. Like you're a first timer. And right now I'm on day 21 of 50.
Nice.
That's the introductory thing.
Oh, that's-
right? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that is a commitment. But again, and before we kick this back over to Jeff, if you don't commit to figuring out something that makes you feel better, then you're going to just fail,
Exactly.
right? It's that whole failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Exactly.
It's the same exact sentiment, but now we're talking about our minds,
Yes.
right? And as soon as you start talking about opening your mind, being mindful, whatever other thing you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
it's all the same thing. Slow yourself down mentally. I don't mean stop doing things, but slow yourself down no matter how you do it, whether it's with Sam's app or with Jeff or however you want to do it. People, all we're telling you to do is slow down so your mind can be at ease. And you'll be amazed at how much better your days are just meditating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, don't read a book. Don't do nothing. Tell me I'm an idiot. I don't care.
No, and that's Wim's app. He'll walk you through, but he has different programs too, like beginner to intermediate to advanced, and then you can go meet him and do the actual cold training in his homeland, in the Netherlands and Poland and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you can do that. And he is occasionally come to America, but again, depending on our seasons, you're not getting what he does. But yeah,
To be out in nature and do it.
and progress you. You're looking at to go to the Rockies, Appalachians, somewhere Alaska. You're gonna really be removed from civilization, like where he takes these people.
You know, is that something where he does like any other like Sherpa would do, where you go so far and maybe you set up and you stay there and you go a little bit further?
Yeah, they do
You-
like progressive training. They'll do stuff
Yeah.
from what I've seen. Like, I don't. I've seen a lot of these guys do they'll do ice baths as a group, and
Right.
I'm seeing them all laughing, and then they go into they'll hike just in shorts. They got their backpacks on, and it's snow and blizzard conditions, and then they set up camp, and they'll like go dive in like rivers and stuff like that. But it's all progressive things to make sure these people are ready. But also too, part of those courses is you got to be mentally prepped too.
Yeah. Oh, you don't walk in.
Oh, you're not just going to
Yeah, no.
do that. You're going to have a pretty good, strong mindset. So it's a pretty cool thing. So that's why I like Wim stuff. I take cold showers every day, try to do ice baths and all that kind of stuff. Now we're getting into summer, so it's hot as can be. So I would just sit outside in the winter in the morning and meditate early mornings, and just people are like, how do you not freeze? Pfft, your body will warm you. It's not bad.
Yeah. It's meant to do that.
My coach always joked. He goes, your body is, 98.6 degrees. It's 50 outside. You're 40 plus degrees warmer. Why are you freezing? It's like,
Not used to
yeah.
that.
Still remember that, sir. Funny. So, with his stuff, meditation, that's why I like it. It brings me peace and it calms me. I've listened to Sam's stuff before too.
Sure, yeah.
He's got some great YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Headspace, I believe my wife uses. I've used Calm. I've used relaxed meditations. I vary through them.
Do you remember the Headspace app? I used that as well, and I don't remember why I switched over to Sam's. Do you remember who who's behind Headspace? Because I thought that there was a person, like a figure such as Sam, that's behind it. Do you know that?
I can't remember.
It's no big deal, man. I can look it up. It's not important right
I
now.
can't remember. Yeah. So simple things like that. So the next, spend time in nature.
Oh my gosh, man.
So
yes,
something Wim again says to do, and I think we need to do more of. And so when you guys listen to this, whatever day and time it is, plan accordingly. When the sun's going down, it's just gone down, and it's still a little light out. Go outside barefoot in your yard. Walk.
Yep.
Walk barefoot in your yard and feel the grass, feel the dew. Be mindful again when you're walking, whatever. But find a area and just walk.
Yeah.
No headphones, no phone, no technology. Go out and just walk. Literally feel each step. Feel each step when you put your heel down to your toes, to the ball of your foot. Like, feel each step with a purpose. Do that for about 10 minutes. I guarantee you, when you come back in, you will feel so relaxed, so at peace, so calm that you will feel like a new person. That's something that we don't do enough, is reconnect with nature.
It's re-energizing at the most absolute spot on way. You are re-energizing your body.
We may not be able to go to these cool hidden gems of nature like we see, but nature is literally outside each one of our doors. Yeah. Now, there might be a little bit more sound to some, but if you got some grass somewhere, go just be barefoot. That's something good to do. Like in the morning when I get done lifting, if the sun's not up, I go walk on the grass too. But I like it night. I always said
I prefer it actually around, and it's crazy, but I like it late, like 11 or 12 at night. So I'm a moon guy. Like
you can do it at moon. So you can do it multiple times, that too, when the moon's out and getting, re-energized from the moon, but feeling the dew of the grass on your feet. Something just about it.
And I tell you what, and people probably think we're crazy, and that's good. I want you to think I'm crazy because I want you to try this stuff so you don't think I'm crazy. But my mother turned me onto this, and for all of what I feel are her faults, that's something that I'll always be grateful for. Yeah. She took me out into the grass. I'll never forget it. I was staying with her over at a relative's house just for the evening. And we went outside that night. We were talking, having some conversation, and she says, "Hey, I want you to come over here and I want you to try something," because I hadn't even thought about any of this yet. Yeah, right. I mean, none of it. Like meditation. Come on, man. I ain't got time for that. Whatever. Right. Instead, I'll get up at early and just be ass on fire all day, and that sucks. But anyway, she took we both barefoot, kicked off my flip flops or whatever, went out in the grass. And she said, "All right, now give me your hands." And I held my mother's hands in the grass. Both of us barefoot. Yeah. That moment changed my whole life. My mind was opened enough to where I was willing to let anything in, and it came in.
And that's the key.
Yes.
You have to be willing to, like, as Jeremy talks and I talk about, you guys have to be willing to try these things. As crazy and outlandish as they can be, like Wim stuff, that's getting a little further. You got to graduate to that. But I'm telling you, exactly that. Be open, step outside, just be receptive to the world. I'm telling you, anytime we've done float trips, even though you're still in some technology, kind of not, or like little weekend getaways like that, it is always so refreshing.
Something about moving water.
I love that too, man.
Yeah, there really is. That's my thing. Like
that's why we got a fish tank, just constant. It sounds like a constant waterfall.
Yeah, man. But I like that water rushing over me. I like
that's good. Yeah.
The feeling of the energy rushing over me. I get a lot more out of even the thought of running water, and I mean natural running water. I mean a river, a creek, whatever. I get more just from the thought. I get pleasure from the thought of being in running water because I know what it does. I know what it would do for me. Yeah. Right. I can think now about being out in the yard at midnight when nobody else is out, even if I can't be there. It's not the same, but you can go there. You can, because you know where you've been, right?
Yes.
And you've got to fight to go back to that point. We all have to fight our minds to uncondition them, to stop being so crazy. And everything Jeff is telling you right now is one little tool for your bag. use one, use two, use all of them. And we're not even close to being done yet.
No.
Right? So,
Yeah. So, with that one, simple and easy, another one, leave the world a better place than you found it each day. Simple little thing. If you did something to help somebody else, you did something that enriched you, your family, something like that, you did your job. It doesn't have to be outlandish that I donated, X amount of dollars or this. It literally just holding the door open for somebody else. Those small little gestures is leaving the world a better place because you did something nice for somebody and they probably will remember it.
dude, can I tell you another story?
Go.
I'm sorry. I love this. I absolutely love how this goes because somehow Jeff and I just fall in line with everything. And he speaks about something and it's something that I just experienced, or whatever, vice versa. The other day we had some, like an annual spraying for some pests or something around the house. And I don't like to pay for that kind of stuff. It's a little frivolous for me. I don't mind if there's bugs out, but it was getting a little crazy because we live by the woods. And anyway, so this young man comes to the door. It's a young, and I'm only going to say this because I'm setting the tone. Young African-American man. He's probably 19 to 23, somewhere in there. Okay.
Young.
He's got on all his gear, face mask. He's going to do his thing. It's hot as hell outside. And when he approached the door, my dogs were barking, and he did not like that. Mm-hmm. So I went outside and I met with him. I said, "Oh yeah, I know you're here. Go ahead and do your thing." Well, afterwards, he came to me, and man, this kid was just sweating. He was just,
dude's decked out in probably overalls.
just
and everything.
dude. He can't wear shorts and a t-shirt.
No.
So anyway, man, like he's getting done, and I said, "Hey, do you have a second?" And he goes, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "I got a few minutes before my next job." I said, "All right, cool. Come up on my back porch here." I said, "I'll be right back." He comes up there. He sets all his gear down. I come back out, a bunch of Barrel Brands product. I said, "Dude," I know when you get home tonight, your skin's going to be wrecked. I know you got hair that's going to be fucked up because you're out in this weather. I said, "This stuff's for you." And he was floored. But I told him, I said, "I want you to know," I said, "that I value you and I appreciate you as a human and as somebody I know now."
Yeah.
I said, all this shit out there that's going on, you're going to see in the news that this politician says they're for you and this, that, the other. But at the end of the day, if one human doesn't approach you and say, "Man, I fucking like what you bring to this world."
Yeah, he does a service.
Yes, he should be fucking praised for what he does. So I give him this stuff. He's like freaking out. He's like, "What?" And I'm telling him how to use it and everything. And he takes off. He's loving it. But more so than how I made him feel just for doing something nice.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't cost me that much money.
No.
I came inside, I cried. I bawled because I could feel with him that maybe this had never been done before.
Yeah, he probably doesn't get a lot of people that he goes to homes and gets asked, "Hey, here, sit here, take a break."
Yeah.
Take
Want
a
some
moment.
water?
Yeah,
Exactly.
something like that. He probably doesn't get that very much. People just see him and just say, "Hey, be on your way."
And I hope that he doesn't remember me for that. I really do. I just hope he remembers the feeling.
I think most people do when they experience that because he will tell the story for weeks and weeks and weeks. Probably went back to work, man, this dude, and stuff like that. And that's exactly little things like that. Leave the world just a little smaller, better than your place. That's what should our each goal should be in our lifetime to do is that we leave the world a little bit better than we found it. Which
right, and you don't feel worse from doing it.
No.
So why the hell so many people fight it? Just do it. Do something good for the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then, this number 9 here, as we get onto it, find positive in every day. So you could have the worst day ever. Thinking back to days, you can think this, everyone else listening, days you've got the calls, someone's passed. Yeah. You lost a job. Someone has cancer. The shit going on in the world. Yeah. Still find one good thing in the day. Yep. Because it will reset the tone. And that's talked about in that book too that I suggest and everything. So find the good in every day. And if you can do that, that's why I say to do it in the beginning of the day. Wake up, count your blessings, then do it at the end of the day. Because your day could have gone to shit, but reshape it at the end of the day. Definitely reshape it. Get it back on that positive note, which falls in line then with the last one. Don't go to bed with anger in your heart.
Man, that could be number 1.
It could be.
It could be.
And you've always heard, like, the thing with couples, like you've heard, like, when you get married or you're with somebody, don't fight before going to bed. Resolve it before you go to sleep.
Right.
And I wish I could say in my relationship with my wife that we never had fought before going to bed. But no, that's something that I don't like to do because you don't get sleep. You both wake up feeling like shit because internally you're destroyed.
Right.
And you're not at your best.
Yeah. And if that spouse goes to work and you don't see them till the end of the day,
it just manifests.
But here's what really sucks about that. And I shouldn't say what sucks. What's really hard is you're waiting all day. You're like, I should have squashed that, right? When she gets home, I'm going to squash it. But instead, when she comes home, something happened. It sets you off.
And then it goes again.
And now you didn't squash it. Now you made the shit worse. So now tomorrow, you don't even know why you're mad.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
This shit helps with that.
Yes, exactly. So that's why those two go hand in hand, 9 and 10 of find something positive in every day and don't go to bed with anger in your heart.
I like it.
You got to do that. You start your day on that positive note of counting your blessings. Something that I said the other day, like grateful, thankful, blessed. Like I'm not a religious person. I will be first to admit it. I am very spiritual.
Yeah.
Grew up religious, but not a part of me anymore.
Yeah.
Very spiritual. But think of those three in those terms, grateful, thankful, and blessed of what they all are. They got a lot of good meaning. They can mean anything to what you want. But that's why I start your day on that positive note, end on it too. So,
yeah.
And that's the thing of, those are just 10 little things. Like, we could blow these out of proportion. We could have had an episode on each one of these.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we will one day.
Like we literally could to go into great detail of different things that you can do. But to kind of, just to reiterate it all again, guys, like for the list of, 10 is, first and foremost, wake up, count your blessings when you awake.
Yeah.
Don't jump right on your phone. Don't start the day off on that. Start your day off on the way you want it to go, not what society has put out on that. Yep. Enrich your mind every day, whether you're reading, meditating. These go along with it. So 4, read. 5, meditate. Physical activity. Leave the world a little bit better place than you found it.
Yep. Spend
time in nature. Find the positive in every day.
Yeah.
Again, don't go to bed with anger in your heart. 10 things. Dude. And that's the thing, like I shared, 2 weeks ago on my Instagram, same thing, a little thing like that. These things have helped. And these are things I try to do daily. Can't say that, every day goes as planned.
Right.
But try.
Where can our listeners and viewers find you on social media?
So I am the the Barbell Samurai. So THE_barbell_samurai, SAMUAI. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait, yeah.
Hold on, did I spell it right? No.
Yeah.
So the Barbell Samurai. So I put a lot of stuff in there. I talk in my stories. I share some stuff that Jeremy and I do and whatnot, but that gives you a little insight into some of this stuff. And I try to put a lot of that stuff in there daily, share quotes, because I'm hoping that on that forum with this and everything else that we get more people to kind of go that direction.
Yeah, dude. Even just a few handfuls and more and more and more. And my goal is that when we have events for Barrel, that some of these same people come out and they understand now. Yeah. That's why Jeremy talks like that, or about this, or that's why Jeff said that.
Yeah.
Now we get it. When they said it was a family event, they meant bring your damn kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Cool. Is that it? Is that all you got?
That's 10, dude. Well, dude, trust me, man. We could sit here until the sun came up for another 2 days and just keep pumping it into me.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. And I tell you what, we ain't gonna stop until I'm done, and I'm sure we got something else to talk about. So I'm gonna get back at it.
So
cool.
You're up.
Yeah. All right. So now I gotta read my chicken scratch here. So if you could see this is exactly what I think my brain looks like.
Looks like child handwriting.
It's just crazy. Yeah, it looks like a serial killer wrote something, I think. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off in the morning. And before I even start off in the morning, I want to tell our listeners and viewers that I've been married for 25 years. The thing that made me start wanting to do these things, figure out hey, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be better people to surround myself with, whatever it was, because I had nothing but piss and vinegar from my upbringing, my youth, my adolescence. So I started these methods, these little tidbits, like Jeff talked about, because I was afraid I wasn't going to make it to my 26th year of marriage. Mm-hmm. And I can tell everybody right here that it's not only because of, my wife and her persistence and kicking my ass, but it's that these things are out there and they're available and they're free. And if you don't try to use them to save a marriage, to be a better father, to be a better mother, a wife, whatever, then you didn't do your work.
No.
You didn't do your damn work, because there's work now. And we don't want that. When we come home from work, we don't want to work more.
I'm guilty of it.
You don't want anybody to tell you fucked up.
Yeah.
Can't be wrong about nothing, can we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So see what I'm saying here, folks? Like, it's a slippery road. It really is. And we all fall down it. So in the morning, first thing that I like to do.
Take my notes now.
Hell yeah. Before my wife opens her eyes, if she's home, not going to work.
Yeah.
Before my children get up, before I put food in my dog's bowl. And I mean, sometimes I even say, do I really want to go to the bathroom before I go down there? I don't want to have any chance of other thoughts getting into my head before I go take care of me. Because I know I'm a dumb human that's been conditioned to jump onto every thought that goes into my head. I don't like doing that anymore, people. It takes me to bad places, and I think it's taken all of us to some bad places.
Oh, yeah.
So in the morning, first thing I do is I get up and I come down here, actually in this studio, over that way on my couch, and I put on my headphones. They got noise canceling in them. So as I start to learn, I need that. Now, Jeff, earlier, he had mentioned something about a lot of sounds outside. Like if you go out there, maybe it's hard. What if I told you that you could just view that as a challenge to make yourself meditate or focus better? It's not that it stopped you from doing something. No. It was going to be a little harder. So instead of taking the easy route, because you really didn't have to do that anyway, you could just go inside and eat your meal, do whatever you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, if you start doing this work, just one little step at a time, eventually there is a new sparkle in your eye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's energy. There's
almost a rebirth within same life, but a new life is emerged.
So when I sit down and meditate, I don't think, oh my gosh, like yesterday, this was so hard. And I just kept thinking about other shit. And because then I'd just be back to square one.
Yeah.
Instead, I put it on and there's no noise. It's just the absence of noise, right? So that in and of itself is sort of a noise, technically.
And because most people then can internally shut it. Like
yes.
When you remove senses, eyes, ears.
Dude,
freaks.
So do you know how you can prove this to people? If I tell somebody, like we are right now, when you sit on your couch and you close your eyes, or you do whatever, you can do this standing up. You don't have to sit down. It's just the easiest way. Cross your legs, put your hands on your legs, whatever. This is going to sound so silly. When you get to that place and you sit down and you put those headphones on, or you're just listening to whatever, or you're not listening to anything, and you try to visualize yourself from the outside. Why would you do this? Because it's part of the drill. So just listen. You try to view yourself from the outside. It's impossible for you to see your face on your body looking at yourself from the outside in your mind. It's impossible for now because our mind can't be out here. And our mind has never seen this.
It's true.
Like that. See reflections in the mirror, that's different. So
that's a very good way to put it.
It is amazing. If you just sit down, close your eyes right now, try to imagine yourself in your current state and tell me if you can see your own damn face. And I mean looking at your face, not just imagining your reflection in the mirror.
That's hard to do.
Very hard.
No, like I would have to be like into my meditation.
Yes, yeah,
like,
you got to get deep.
I'd have to be sitting there for a few minutes too, and that's like when I do Wim's breathing. I'm closed, and the colors that pour through and everything. It's whether I'm seeing mantras flow over me of different things, the energy. It's just like those things. It's like whoa.
For me, it's not there yet, but. The other day I come out of here like ripping ass to tell my wife, like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened. But I got into the zone like hardcore enough.
That euphoric experience.
Bro. And every time I settle myself down, I imagine myself in space. And I don't mean out floating around, but we're all technically in space. Okay? Just because we have an atmosphere and all that. We're in space. We're floating around in space. And you can feel that weight of your body almost like you're slumbering into a deep sleep. And then all of a sudden it just goes, and it's not space. It's not color yet for me. It's just this vast, like somewhere behind my eyelids, somewhere here, I'm on another place, man. I mean, I feel like I'm 400 pounds and I'm just like, oh, it's like the most relaxing feel I've ever felt. But I never slip off into sleep. I just feel really good.
It's just your body's way of, like,
Yeah,
like again, the euphoric experience of the runner's high that they claim. Like, you know, I can speak from this from years of being a track athlete, that you eventually run and, oh, here I am, and you're up here.
Yeah,
you were staring at yourself.
Yeah, you're not feeling anything.
Yes,
right.
You literally are like, man, I feel like I'm over my body. Like I could just go for days.
Right.
And it's that same thing,
dude.
that
Yes.
You get so into that meditation. You were so relaxed. It's just like in movies when you see they're pulling the soul out of the spirit or whatever. It's the exact same thing. Of like, you're here, you're so heavy, but then it's like the real you is.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing, and I don't know the science behind that. I won't even act like I do, but I will play you a little bit of what I deal with here with Sam Harris, and I just want you to listen to how soothing it is and how comfortable you could imagine it would be. So, all right, I'm new at this, so forgive me. I gotta keep playing around here with a bunch of different stuff.
The rising and falling of your abdomen.
All right. So I'm going to back this up because I had it prepared all wrong. But here we go.
And now gradually become aware of the process of breathing. Notice where you feel the breath most distinctly, either at the tip of the nose or in the rising and falling of your abdomen.
I got to admit, I sort of want to do it now.
Oh, that's like when you played Wim. I'm literally getting in that zone. It's like,
Right.
I couldn't do it sitting.
Yeah, yeah.
Not liking this. I'd be afraid.
Just
I'd
feel
be
the mere
over
sensations
Right.
associated with the breath.
Now, folks, this is one form of
From
meditation.
the beginning of the inhalation
It's not all of them.
through
No,
the
and this is a
pause
simple
between
way
breaths
of doing it too.
This is probably the most simple way to do
Yes.
it.
and follow the
Guidance at
exhalation
each
to the
step.
end.
Yes, absolutely. It's somebody holding your hand.
Simply cover the breath
And
with your awareness.
I'm going to let this play just a little bit. But what you'll notice when you start looking into these is that the theory is simple,
Mhm.
but the execution will whoop your ass,
Yes.
right? Like no matter which one you
no
try.
reason to control the breath. Just allow it to come and go naturally.
Yeah. So it's things like this that Sam talks about, and that's just a very small segment of that. And as when you begin earlier in his programs, he's more talkative, right? As they go on, now I'm at 20, 21, there's fewer, there's longer gaps in between his voice.
Coached you to be able to do those small little things.
Yes, exactly. And
So
it
then
really
when
pays
you get
off.
To 50 in your first part.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with like Wim's training and stuff that he has going on. Like you do those trainings, they get deeper into this and stuff like that and other things you should do. And it's now push your threshold here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And it's again, a lot of it's new stuff for us. It's not new for a lot of the Eastern world.
No.
Stuff
Not
has
been
long
around
shot.
again
Yeah, exactly.
before Christ.
Yeah, before the first story of religion was ever told.
True.
So, all right. So that's the meditation I do. It's very simple. There's not much to it. Use any app. Don't use an app. Turn on some music. Whatever you want to do. This has just been easier for me. My brain's been rattled more than a lot of people's, admittingly. And whether it was the military childhood or whatever, I know it's there, and I know I have to take precautions to better myself so that I don't react when those things come into my mind. I'd rather sort of reflect on it for a moment and then maybe respond.
Yeah.
Right? There's a big difference than just reacting.
True.
Right. So I don't want to mince words, but I mean, really, there's a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, along the lines of meditation is reading, right? That's the next thing I love to do is to read. I started off with my first book that had anything about spirituality in it was from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It was from RZA. He was like my favorite Wu-Tang member, one of my favorite hip-hop artists. So RZA is very much so in this lane that we are.
Yeah.
More so. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time, has the money, he does a lot of things with it. But he wrote a book called The Tao of Wu. A lot like the Tao of Pu and all those other ones, right? The Tao of Wu, it will freak you out at how simple he can make it for somebody that's in a city.
Yeah.
Somebody that grew up in a bad neighborhood or a crappy upbringing, whatever. He's a regular guy. Now, he's one hell of a musician and a producer and all that stuff, but the stuff he has to say is wonderful. So that was the first book that I ever picked up on anything spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
It blew my mind. It's a really easy read. It's fast. I was going to have it here today to show you guys and talk more about it, but man, I give books to people and forget who I give them to. And then I just like, well, I read it, so it's cool, whatever. But the Tao of Wu by RZA is it's a great one. A couple more that I got here. Give me just a second. I brought these in physical form just so I could remember.
I would have to pack a book bag.
I know, right? I just grabbed the first couple that I could remember, honestly, because they all do something different.
I just immediately, I can't think of the exact titles, but I know exactly what they look like, and I know exactly where they're sitting in my office.
Yeah.
The first ones that I read, too. Exactly in that same principle.
So Eckhart Tolle, A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. I'll put a link on this on our video for you guys. This one, I would say it's a good place to start because it really is just trying to get you to understand why you would do the next steps.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Oh, and it's funny because Eckhart Tolle is this little bitty like mouse of a man. He's German or Austrian, I think. Isn't he?
I think Austrian.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
So he's got that very, very like very European tone to him, and sometimes you're like, man, this guy's
professor
goofy.
Like when he talks, it's just
yeah. It's like a professor.
Like you literally just focus and like drop what you're doing when he talks. Like I love watching his little clips on Instagram when he does. Like he had a good one the other day and kind of not elaborating on what's going on, but like honing you in to see a different view.
Yeah,
and it's just like, man, I can just listen to you all day. And he always has some cool little graphics. If he does it or his media team, he's got some cool stuff that they put with his voice and views and photos you can just watch. Hear him talk over and over.
Yeah, totally. And there's a little clip on the back here. I won't read it all, but there's one line that catches me. It's like you said, those 3 words: illuminating, enlightening, and uplifting. I couldn't have come up with a better explanation. Yeah, because it really does sort of flick you on the ear and go like, "Hey, dude, there's another way. Yeah, the way you've been doing it is not the only way. If you want it to be the only way, you can keep living that way." Mm-hmm. This one's a little more. Probably a little more out there for some people.
I'd say I can already read the title and I could go with it.
But if you know me, you know I'm into this stuff. So I'm not going to beg for forgiveness at all. It's called Waking Up in 5D, and it's by Maureen J. St. Germain. This one was recommended to me by a really good friend, a childhood friend, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Like, it's great when you start throwing a good, positive energy out in the world, what comes back to you.
Yes.
Right? In the form of people, even material items. It's amazing what happens. But Waking Up in 5D is something, it's called a practical guide to multidimensional transformation. Okay. So am I saying that book is about going out into outer space like we all think about? No. You know what it's about? I mean,
I've not read it.
Okay. So the 5D part of it?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that? 5D?
Yes.
Okay. So what it is, guys, is we currently live in 3D, right? Sort of 4D, 4.5D, something like that. The 5th dimension isn't like going somewhere. It's not like you're like teleporting somewhere. It's not that. It's the energy that's all around us. Getting your system to relax enough to where you can become a part of that.
Exactly.
You carry it with you through your day. When you walk into a room and people say, man, that guy he's got such a magnetic personality. No, he doesn't.
He's got it all put together kind of thing.
He's got it all put together. And when he walks in, you can feel that he has the perfect combination of masculine energy and feminine energy. It's no different than the sun and the moon. The yin and the yang. There you go, baby. That's what's up. That's why we do this shit. So, all right. The next one I want to talk about is it's a practice. It's not a meditation, but it's something that you write down and repeat to yourself. It's an ancient Hawaiian practice. Okay. Now, the Hawaiian language gives me fits. I mean, that whole, like, no consonants thing and all vowels.
Polynesian, and it's difficult.
It is. So, first I'm going to tell you what it's called. All right? And you don't have to be able to say it, but it's this is so horrible. I can't do this. Ho'opano. And Ho'opano. And it's Ho'opanopo. Now, this was not created by Dr. Joe Vitale, but he wrote about it and popularized it within the recent past. And what it is, and the name of the book that he wrote about is called Zero Limits, guys. It's out on Amazon. Again, I'll try to leave a link there for you. So this guy, what he says, and not just him, but what's been going on for years in parts of the world that we've never been to or didn't grow up in, if you got something bothering you, it's a wife, it's a classmate, it's a colleague, whatever. When you are angry at somebody, and I know you guys are probably going to think this is nuts, but do you believe me whenever I tell you that what you're angry at in them is something that you've got inside of you that is unresolved? Because that's exactly what it is.
Well, that goes back to talking about emotions, that when you get angry, let's say we're bickering and bullshitting and you piss me off.
Yeah.
You didn't make me angry. I did. Exactly what you're saying, something caught.
Yeah.
But I'm fueling the fire by letting you win to enrage the emotions.
Right.
So then you now control me.
Yeah.
I'm at the whim to you.
You're leasing your headspace to me.
And that's exactly what people don't get when you get into these stupid little things, exactly like he's talking about.
Yeah.
In Zero Limits, it's those things of that's exactly it.
Yeah.
You let somebody else control your emotions. Hello, my puppeteer.
Yeah. So get this, dude. This is so simple, and it's so amazing. It blew my mind when my friend told me. She told me about it. I'm like, again, my first response is like, come on, really? So then I start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I start doing it for my relationship with my wife. I did it last night for my relationship with my daughter because we went to bed angry at each other. I let her strike a nerve in me, and it made me angry. And I fucked up. So I'm sorry for that. And that's where we go to here. To ho'oponu.
So
Ho'oponu. Yeah.
what does that translate to?
Bro, I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I would be willing it has something to do with one of these 4 lines.
Okay.
I love you. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Thank you.
Could be actually all possible.
It could be.
I don't.
Because their words are sometimes short and they have a ton of meaning or vice versa.
Well, yeah. So
They've got some road names over there, like 30 freaking characters long, and there's like, it's all A's and O's and U's. But anyway, so let me break this down for you. So Jeff and I get into a fight about something, about how we're supposed to do something here on the podcast, and neither of us got our heads out of our asses. In fact, they're both way up them. But one of us says, well, you know what? I heard about this thing in Hawaii, and I'm going to try it. So you say to yourself, love you, Jeff. Sorry for what I did, right? I'm sorry for the way that I reacted to you. I'm sorry for the way that I allowed you to make me feel a way, even though it's me feeling that way, right? Like, I'm sorry I did this. It's on me. You have to own it. The intent here, people, is where the practice is prolific. The intent. You can't think shit and do something different, right? So, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you for forgiving me. I really appreciate that. And you don't say that to the other person. Say it to yourself. It's for you. Yeah. It's for you. I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry that when my wife came home and she was in a bad mood, that I didn't run to her with open arms to make her feel better. Instead, I let that affect me. And then I flipped it on her and made her feel even worse.
Well, it's like you said last week when we touched upon this and when we came to the realization that we need to do this. Those are things that more people need to say. And that ties perfectly with that book, too, that I recommended. Like,
sure.
All this today, when you guys put all this together, when you hear this final product from us, you get these books. I hope that you do. You'll literally find that, like, these 2 pieces of the puzzle, which we are, will match and do this for you guys. It's pretty insane because exactly those things is stuff that he talks about in the book that you got to first do here.
Yeah,
and I like that.
Totally.
And that's perfect, too, because I really think that, like you said last week, we get into these heated battles, arguments with significant others, wives, whomever, but we don't do these things
actively
to ourselves.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't know how many people out there hate themselves and are shamed and are guilty and never dealt with any of it. Right?
I agree.
You don't have to do that, people. There's ways to get that shit out of you. You don't have to go sit with a counselor, although it does help. You don't have to go see a therapist, but it does help. You don't have to do meditation, but you won't get to the place we're trying to get you unless you can calm your mind down.
Yeah, it's true.
You'll never be able. Listen, I told you guys, my mind's like a pissed off, spoiled toddler on a sugar bender. Like, that's my mind. But I know it, and I admit it. And it's that way for a certain reason. I was made this way for 40 plus years. Now I'm trying to undo it.
It's trying to rewire your brain.
So my goal is, the day I die, I hope I am at the exact other spectrum of from when I was born. But right now, I'm no better than a child. I don't mean right today, but until you start to really control your life.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. You can't be in control of anything if you think you're in control of everything.
Oh, you never are.
And you guys can use that as a quote. I don't care. I just made that up. I'm kidding. So
you may need to pull that.
Yeah, you're right.
Write that down somewhere.
So I'm going to do a couple other things here. And again, my list is a little scattered, but something I forgot earlier is whenever I came home from Jefferson Barracks VA hospital, they had to help me calm down. Whenever I got out of there, somebody told me, take your favorite song and make that your alarm clock in the morning. That sucks having your phone next to you, all that. I get that.
I use mine as an alarm
But just,
clock.
right, yeah. I'd like to not,
flat out.
but I really do like the fact that it plays a certain song from a certain artist that I just love.
That's a good idea.
And it's what wakes me up. So the first thing in my mind is the message that's in the beginning of that song. I can't help it. It's the first thing.
Can we know what song it is?
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. And like, okay,
Say we can play it. If not,
I can.
just
I don't
say
think
it,
I can play it because it'll be. I think we might get in trouble. But I know these guys. At least one of them. He's a really cool guy. I don't think he would have any problem with me at least saying it. It's a band called Hot Water Music. Their singer is named Chuck Reagan, and he has gone on to do a lot of singer-songwriter, like acoustic, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It's funny too because whenever I found his new album after I'd come home from the hospital, just by chance, I didn't like it. All the old albums were like really like gritty and angry, and this album was talking about.
You're still angry.
This album was talking about fishing. This album was talking about being out on the river. This album was talking about finding salvation in yourself, not nobody up there, nothing. You. It was amazing what it did for me. And it was, I got to look here, and I apologize, guys. But it's on his newest album. And of course, my phone's being silly. It's on his newest album. Again, his name's Chuck Reagan. And I got to look it up here to see what the name of it is. But you spell his last name Ragan. So don't try to look for it under, Ronnie's spelling. It's The Flame and the Flood. And that's the actual song. Another one's Gathering Wood. But what they talk about is like, it's the basics, guys. It's that shit that we said when we got married. Like, you and I could be standing together here naked in a field with nothing else, and we're going to be here together. And it's about that feeling. It's about that, like, don't worry. Don't beat yourself up. Just chill out. Go to nature. Go get outside. And so I started doing those things. And, oh, my God, man. So that's my next point, is walk in the woods. Now, I never listen to that music while I'm in the woods. I used to, but that's wrong. That's bad.
You need to be 100% in tune with nature.
100%. So if you go on a walk for me or with me when I'm doing this, not like if we're just going for a hike.
Yeah.
I will walk X amount of time and I will stop X amount of time.
Yes.
Because I don't want to miss anything.
It's true.
And I don't know how many times
your pace is a little slower typically. Now, that was something that when I was younger.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, when we hiked the Grand Canyon, I was like, wow. And that's something my wife always yells at me. She's like, you just want to go mow the grass so you can get a flipping extra workout in.
Dude,
and that's hard, but like, I'm not mowing the grass to reflect.
Right.
That's a lot of sound coming in. We're
dude.
noise canceling stuff. But same thing when like I hiked the Grand Canyon, it was like that first day you see it, like we came, it's like, wow. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get in there. We're going to go down and do this so fast. And it was that morning, like we started at pitch black. We started out there like 3-something in the morning. And then you see it when the sun comes up and you're like, I don't want to go. Can we just
stay here?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit over here. And I remember my mom getting so mad at me because all the photos I took, there's maybe 10 of us in the group.
Right.
I took of everything I saw because I
Landscape and
wanted
stuff,
to
yeah.
show everyone what I saw. Even
Yeah.
though a camera at that time, even now,
Yeah, sure.
we didn't have the camera to equate to what now, but even
Yeah.
then, I still didn't have something high powered back then when we did it.
Right.
I took nothing but nature photos.
Yeah.
Very few. And she's like, and I'm like, I wanted people to see what we saw.
Yeah. And you probably didn't realize exactly why you were drawn
No.
to that.
It just hit me now by you saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and I'm glad you said that, man. I like that reiteration, that reaffirmation. So that's why I also read my horoscope.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, and you don't have to believe in it. But just like Christians with daily prayers, it's a reaffirmation. And what it does for me, and it might say something like, oh, I don't know, today, or yesterday you were met with this kind of a frustration and you didn't quite handle it the way you should have. So today you get a second chance.
Yeah.
Now, you're telling me that that's not a good thing to read in the morning? Whether it's going to like tell you your future or not, no. But damn, if it doesn't help you like, oh, shit, you're right. I got to pay attention to that today.
Yeah.
And because no matter what they say, we can all find something
Yes.
that makes sense of it.
That's true.
And people are like, oh, well, that's just, like saying a psychic is wacko or whatever. It's only wacko if you don't let your mind open up.
Yeah.
So
Just don't be closed.
yeah, so we'll get through a couple more here, and then I think we'll be good. Immunity boosters. This is something that you and I talked about at great lengths not too far back with the current situation and with just living.
Yeah.
We get sick.
Absolutely.
If you're sick, you don't want to go meditate. If you're sick, you don't want to go work out. If you're sick, so don't get sick, right? So how can we not get sick? I don't know. You can do things like lemon ginger tea.
Oh, there's all sorts of things.
Jeez, man, there's all sorts of stuff. You take vitamin C. I happen to take 5,000 IU of vitamin D every day.
Yep.
I had a
D3.
deficiency, right? I was overweight.
Almost every flipping American's vitamin D deficient.
Right, yeah. So from
Not laughing in a good way. It's just the reality. We're not close enough to the equator to get enough sun.
exactly.
We as a culture do not spend enough time outside to get enough anyways.
African Americans actually have a greater deficiency than anybody. Well, here in the U.S. Yeah. So it's the whole melatonin thing, and it's the absorption rate, and it's all that, and yeah. So anyway, okay, you can get that at Walmart, Walgreens. But I would recommend a reputable supplement store, but you get them wherever you need to. Just do it. Vitamin C, vitamin D, multivitamins, lemon ginger tea. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff.
There's all sorts
Probiotics.
of probiotics, digestive enzymes are huge for the gut, but something on the lines of all those vitamins too, to add on top of, we can take all these vitamins, which will help.
Yeah.
But don't forget, if you're always internally angry and stressed and enraged,
Yeah.
you are already lowering your immune system and everything else because your body is constantly under internal stress.
That's
Your cortisol levels,
no doubt.
all that stuff's through the roof. You will make yourself sick because of that. So first, change here. The supplements and everything Jeremy talks about will aid in that. But
It's
you gotta
the
start up
fight or
again.
flight thing.
Exactly.
Right,
What we
yeah.
talked about before.
Yeah, fight or flight, man. Your system's been conditioned to constantly just go protect, go protect, go protect. And that's not what it's about.
No.
Right? I mean, that's why we've got people dying at alarming rates from heart attacks and just pure stress.
Yeah.
PTSD and all this. Are you kidding me? I think my child probably has PTSD from watching the news.
Yeah.
That's why we're not really watching the news. But if she did, we don't let her do that.
You could potentially, it can put you in a pit downfall.
Absolutely. So it's just take care of yourself, people. It's a complete thing. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your spirituality. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the tone that you speak in. It's the way you address people. It's the way that when somebody speaks to you, you respond to them. You don't ignore them. You don't react to them. Use your hearts, guys. Use your stomachs. Let your head go. It'll be fine. Trust me. Let your heart and your stomach lead you, and your head will be fine. It'll catch up. Catch up a lot faster if you make it, right? Force that shit, people.
Yeah, you never can force it. It won't happen. It's something that just kind of has to
Right.
flow.
So at night, so in the evenings, what I like to do is I like to take a really hot bath. Quite the opposite of Wim.
I'm the opposite of you.
Yeah.
It's my wife. It's my daughter. It's like,
Too much?
like, why did if you do?
But I think it's just as important to practice one as the other.
Yeah.
Because they're two extremes that you're putting your body
Yes.
under stress in. But anyway, I'll keep doing my way. You keep doing your way.
Well, Wim-
but we need to.
Wim talks that way too, though. Like to introduce in his app to do his cold shower, do your warm, hot. Then I think it's like the first couple days, it's 30 seconds.
Right. Yeah. Just under pure cold. Yeah.
Like, boom. Off.
And I still do that after my hot, if I take a hot shower.
He talks about the principles of like what you're doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the methodology to it. Yeah.
For me, what it is it's that, that feeling that you get in that deep meditation where you start to slumber into it and you feel sort of heavy and weightless at the same time.
Yes.
Right. It's hard to explain until you've been there. But the hot bath, the steam, everything, it feels like it just releases a lot of inflammation, right? Because a lot of times, like if I get
Greek bathhouses and steam houses, and even in Asia, same thing.
Sure, yeah,
Old ways.
Absolutely,
Steam release.
Yes. So when I'm there, I generally, I have whatever music or a podcast or whatever I'm listening to, but I don't rush it. That's my time. I don't always get to take a hot bath, but when I do, it's really good, and it helps with any injuries that I've had. It's helped with the inflammation. I don't feel the pain afterwards.
Yeah.
What the cold does for me, and I've only experienced this a couple of times. I've done the hot shower, then like you said, the quick ice or quick cold. That is something that I think in the morning would be the best thing in the world, because I'm not sure there's anything that wakes you up better than cold.
Typically I do all my the cold stuff in the morning. Now, in the winter, I would do stuff at night because to fill a bathtub, and I would just literally probably wake the household. Yeah. But I'll take a cold shower in the morning. But yeah, at night, that's what I would do. And then I had ice. I would just add into it and stuff like that. Buy extra ice, or I've filled things up and just here we go.
Yeah, dude.
To get it down to into the 40s is where you're trying to get it to, and then you just emerge, sit, and then the goal is, well, I can't fit completely in my tub, but you crouch. It's a big tub, but still, I'm tall. No,
right, you're massive.
But you get into it, and it's just that relax and just that initial shock. But no different than the heat. It feels like needles stabbing you.
Yeah.
Same thing with the cold, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this ain't bad. It's like first time getting in a hot tub. It's like, it burns.
Yeah. So totally.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
and same thing of getting in cold water.
And I don't think there's any sense in like burning yourself. Obviously,
do not burn yourself with the hot water.
Right. I mean, what I'll do is I'll make it pretty warm, and then I'll make it hotter once I get in.
And because it balances.
It doesn't hurt my skin. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't hurt my skin. So it's just very gradual. And then before you know it, you're like, I'm sweating. It's hot in here, Oh, yeah. But it's wonderful.
But that, again, goes back to old ways of the steam, that you're sweating out the toxins, and that's the same thing, like going back to martial arts of breathing in and letting go. But two, like when we did our belt test, and I'm sure many schools do this too, when you earned your new belt, is to take that belt and wipe it across your forehead, put all that sweat into it, because how much sweat took to get you to there. But in that same principle is all that sweat that took you to get here, you bettered yourself, but you also lost bad pieces of yourself along the way.
Let a lot of shit go.
In that sweat, good came through hard work. You grew, but you also let bad stuff go. So it goes along with that sweat aspect.
Yeah, dude.
And dude, I love sitting in saunas. Hell yeah, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Steam saunas suck because it just burns to breathe, but they're really good because it's just that. But yeah, same principle.
Yeah, I'd really love to put a sauna in our bathroom. We've got an upright shower that's sort of a smaller one, and then we got a big oversized tub. I'm trying to do the opposite. So we want to take the oversized tub and actually turn it into a big walk-in shower, and then take the shower and turn it into a sit-down sauna.
Dude, I would love to have that. Like, I eventually want to turn a deep freezer into an ice bath.
Yes.
That was my plan.
Yeah.
Because like, cool, we got a new fridge, put the other one downstairs. Oh, well, COVID happened, and you need more space just because we didn't know, you kind of got a little bit of food. We went with, then now it's like, okay, so that's eventually what I want to do, but I would love to have a sauna too, to like do both. Yeah. Because again, the hot and the cold, they're the yin and the yang, either way you want to look at it.
Totally, man.
So yeah.
That's it, bro. Yeah. All right, man. Well, now we're just bullshitting. So I think it's time that we give these people their day back. Do you have any parting words of wisdom?
I just think, from what we've all said, I got my notes from what Jeremy said. I think overall, take bits and pieces from both of us, take them all, do what you want with it, but make it your own. what we've done. I'm going to try some of the things. Jeremy, I wrote this stuff down so I can, try these things internally for me. I saw he wrote stuff down, let alone we can see this stuff, but take each of these things and try. It's not going to be a one-day attempt, too. This is, like Jeremy said, he's on day 21 of his thing.
Yeah.
I've gone through Wim's thing countless times. It literally is a calendar, and it'll put all of it out in his app for you if you do that. But all the other meditation things that I do, too, when I do it, you just got to create that habit.
Yeah.
Reading, clearing the mind. Do not be hard on yourself if the first 10 attempts at trying to do the stuff don't go smooth. Start small, work bigger.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Totally, man. Yeah. Football players don't go in the NFL just because they decided they wanted to.
No, it takes time.
And some of the greatest minds in the world didn't just wake up that way. They may have had the propensity. They may have had something special baked in, but they had to work.
Absolutely.
I don't know anybody that's great at anything that's a lazy son of a bitch.
No, that's usually not the case.
It's not, is it? They just bitch a lot about everybody else.
It's true. So,
all right, man. Well, I guess I don't have a whole lot. I'd just like to say, guys, I know you're listening to this. Hopefully you're listening to this somewhat relative to when we recorded it, within the next 7 days or whatever, because I hope that you can apply some of these to what I know is a situation like no other for us.
Absolutely.
It's something that is like we're telling you things to do to help. This ain't going to get rid of the problems.
No.
We got to deal with the problems too, people. We got to start looking at everything from term limits to getting the right people in and the wrong people out. If you're local, state, fed, whatever, all of those things along with a horrible pandemic. Gosh, damn, it's a wonder any of us have our shit together.
It's true.
At all. Use some of these tools at your disposal. We'll give you everything that we've talked about. We'll put it out there for you. And if you have any questions about any of this, hit us up. Hit Jeff up at the Barbell Samurai on Instagram, or myself at either Barrel Brands or Jeremy Allen Stanton. We're on Facebook as well. I try not to do a lot of interaction on there. I got sucked in this week, and I just lost it on some people. But generally, that's something I try to stick with IG for the interaction. It just seems to be easier, and Facebook's getting so flooded with such a messy user interface. I can't stand it. But anyway, guys, I'm Jeff. He's Jeremy. Wait, no. You're Jeff. I'm Jeremy. This is Jeff. And we are What More Could You Want? And, hey, we really appreciate y'all. We hope that you appreciate the people next to you and those that you love, and we hope that you go and you tell them about it after this.
Absolutely.
All right, love you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Peace.